I'm crying. I'm just going to do a quick sound check, guys. It's very loud, so just bear with me. Welcome to the Silver Division. We are live, and Ducky is already on a lap in the Alpine. Let me know what the audio is like, guys, because obviously I won't be able to hear it. So if there's any issues or anything like that, just let me know. Because obviously I won't be able to hear it. So we are on board with Ducky as he goes down towards turn 8 and 9 in the Alpine. And down towards turn 10 we go. Let me know what it's like for the stream. So on board with Ducky as he comes down the casino straight towards the Wall of Champions. Rear wing open. This is the bit that he needs to get right because you can easily invalidate your current lap and the following lap as well, but he doesn't. And we are on board with Ducky as he goes down towards, oh, he set a lap of 109.5. That's a brilliant first lap. And then we have a Kick Sauber coming. That is Jalen up towards the line, and it's a 109.4, and it's fastest in the sprint qualifying for the Kick Sauber driver. And McLaren is going to be next. That is a Fixter with a 110.8, but he is out on their medium compound tyres. And Sam B as well, but we do have Viva just in front of him in the RB, coming down towards the line, out of the Wall of Champions. And Viva goes up to P4, and then a Fixter and Sam B, the two McLarens in P3 and P4. Caxel back on the grid as well. There's a Mercedes there. That is Oliver James just going very slowly after invalidating it. So through the Wall of Champions he goes. The Ferrari VIA is going to be next. The Swedishman in the Scuderia also out on the medium, so he's not using them softs for the sprint qualifying just yet. Into the Wall of Champions we go, and the Ferrari driver gets that spot on. He'll burn the rest of his battery down towards the line. And Yaye up to P3 on the mediums, just behind Ducky. So what about Caxel in the Kick Sauber, coming down towards the Wall of Champions? And he does not invalidate it, down towards the line for the Kick Sauber. And it's a 110.5 up to P5. So he fixed it, Yornborn, just coming around turn 10, Craggy on an outlap. There is a Haas there as well. That is Vixen, who's been absolutely rapid lately, coming down towards the line on the mediums and goes up to P5, so he knows it definitely has some improvement. Yornborn is way down on his lap time, but he does have Viva just behind him going into the pit lane, and then the Mercedes J2 has invalidated once again. What about Merckx, the man that is leading the Drivers' Championship? Let's see what he can do as he comes out of turn 10 down at the casino straight. I think he's just backing out there. So he is backing out. I'm just going to do a quick sound check, make sure it does sound okay. So no, unfortunately you can't hear me above the sound of the engine, so just bear with, I will. Just trying to sort it out, guys, just bear with me. Just trying to sort it out, guys, just bear with me. Right, let me just check that now and see what that sounds like. Merckx has invalidated it again. So I think we've got the correct balance with the audio and the cars. So 4 minutes of this sprint qualifying to go. I think Merckx is going to try and set another lap. Sambi's on an outlet. Every other driver into the pit lane down towards turn 10 for the championship leader in the Williams. And we'll see what he can do. Out of turn 10 and down the casino straight. And we are on board with F7R Merckx coming down towards the wall of champions. This is the tricky bit. This is the bit that he needs to get right. And into the pit lane he goes with just under 4 minutes of this qualifying session remaining. Sam B is now on a lap as well as he comes through turn 6 and 7. DRS will kick in. That rear wing will open for the Papaya McLaren. And down towards turn 8 and 9. If somebody can just let me, if the sound is okay, just a little bit fiddly this morning. Trying to make sure that we have no problems. Sambi going into the pit lane. Then we've got A Fixter and Craggy both on outlaps. And that'll be interesting to see what happens there. Oh, Jesus, 1 second. My power leader's just got caught underneath. So going into the pit lane, and it will be Craggy that sets the first lap. I'm just trying to sort out the audio, guys, just bear with me. I do apologise. Right, we are good to go. So we're on board with Craggy. Ducky can do no more in the Alpine. He's currently in P2. Globo is up to P1. Then we have Craggy on a lap. He's just coming down towards turn 10. A little bit of traffic in front of him now. And he backs out. Craggy is backed out. And there is a Ferrari just carrying on as he's coming down the casino straight. That is Yaye on an outlap. Let's try and find the other runner that's on a lap. Spears also on an outlap. Then we have Viva. And what about the McLaren behind him? And that is A Fixter, who's also backed out going down towards turn 10. So he will have one more run with just a minute left. Sam B also just getting ready for his penultimate lap. And Merckx as well, just warming up them tyres. Gennady, Mr. Reams and Oliver James yet to set a lap time here in Canada. What about Jornborn? It looks like Jornborn is improving. He's gone purple sector 2 down towards turn 10 for the Aston Martin driver. So he is improving on his lap time. Up the casino straight we go with Jornborn in the Aston Martin. Down towards Quebec at the Wall of Champions. Over the double apex, gets it spot on, does the Aston Martin driver, and Jornborn coming down towards the line, and it's P7 for the Aston Martin driver. He's not going to be able to improve. What about Caxel? Into the Wall of Champions goes the Kick Sauber, super close to the wall he goes. Here comes Caxel to the line, can he improve? Up to P3, it's a Sauber 1-3. What about the Ferrari of Yaye? Yaye goes provisional pole in the sprint qualifying. There is an Aston Martin. I think that is Craggy behind it. He's coming up the casino straight now. And he backs out. Craggy is not going to be able to improve from P6. We do have Viva next, who is improving. He's a tenth of a second up as he goes into the Wall of Champions. A slight slide of the rears there as he goes through, but it shouldn't hinder him too much. Viva to the line, stays P11. What about the two McLarens? They're going to be next. Here comes a fixture up to P6. Sam B will be next into the Wall of Champions for him. He's 2 tenths up at the moment. Down towards the line goes the other Papaya, and Sam B goes up to P6, takes his teammate's position. Oliver James can do no more. Here comes Merckx, and the championship leader goes up to P3. Jornborn won't be able to improve. He stays in P11. We have the Alpine of Ginaudi to the line. Ginaudi goes up to P10. So what about the other drivers? I think there is. Spears, no, he's hit the checkered flag. That is it. Yaye has taken pole in the sprint qualifying. What a result for the Ferrari driver. Brilliant stuff from the Scuderia. Oh, Vixen made a mess, but he's down in P6. Remember, this is only the sprint qualifying, so this is only your starting grid for the sprint race. Remember, it was all changed. Cheers, Oliver. Thanks, mate. So remember, it was all changed, so you will get an opportunity to qualify on pole position for the actual race. So let's go through the order for the sprint race. It is Yaye that will start on pole position. Globo Flobo in at P2. And Merckx, the championship leader, in P3. Ducky and Twitch Caxel in P4 and P5. Then Vixen, Sam B, A Fixter, Craggy and Ginaudi complete your top 10. Then comes Oliver James, Jornborn, Spears, Viva and Mr. Reese complete the 15 drivers starting this sprint race. That is good to see. So into the formation lap we go. And it is Yaye that will lead the way. Oh, into the wall went Yaye there. Hope he doesn't do that at the start of the Grand Prix. So we are on the out lap and we're going to get ready to race. Remember, if you do want to come and join, if you're watching on Instagram or TikTok, just join through the bio. It will be there. Let's jump on board for the race. Here we go, this is it. The yellow flags are waving. We are race time. This is it for round 10 for the sprint race in the silver division. We are sponsored by Rock Solid Rigs. Here we go, this is it. The lights go out. And it's lights out and away we go. A little snap there from Yaya, who's rounded into the pit lane from the lead of this Grand Prix. Globo Flobo is into the lead as he goes into the centre S. His Mercs is on the rear diffuser of him. Ducky in the Alpine is there. Vixen, Sampy and the other McLaren of A fixed and the teammates are wheel to wheel. Craggy in the Aston Martin all over the back of him into turn 3 and 4. Oliver James is already up 2 places. Viva is from Mr. East and the Mercedes. And the RB is going to go up the inside. The V-Cab up to P13. Yaya's down 14 places from the lead of this Grand Prix. Vixen is there. Twitch Caxel losing a position on Vixen, trying to go up the inside as they go in towards turn 8 and 9. A Fixter and Craggy squabbling for P7 there as Oliver James tries to come around and Craggy is through on A Fixter. Late on the brakes goes Oliver James in towards turn 10. What can A Fixter do? He needs to be early on the throttle here as they come out of turn 10, and he is A Fixter. Oliver James is hunting him down though, burning that battery to stay in front, and the Mercedes driver back up to P8. A Fixter is going to return the favour though as they go down into the Wall of Champions. Wheel to wheel they go, and it is Oliver James that comes out in front, and now comes Gennady on the papaya. Gennady down towards the centre S's at turn 1 and 2. And it is the kick Sauber that is your race leader. Gennady goes later on the brakes. A Fixter backs out, but he just slams on the brakes, and A Fixter nearly getting wing damage there. Globo Flobo in at the kick Sauber is in at the lead of the Grand Prix. Ducky is there as well. A slight snap of the rears from Mercs. And that means Ducky is super close. The gap is 0.6 of a second between the Sauber and the Williams now. What about Yarnborn and A Fixter? In towards turn 8 and 9 we go. All the drivers within DRS range. Here comes Viva on Spears now. And the Red Bull being overtaken by the sister car of the V-Cab. Oh, late on the brakes he goes. Slammed into the back of Yarnborn. What happened there? And look how close Mercs is now to the kick Sauber. He's going to be patient though. And just slots back in behind the green machine. Oh, over the curb he goes, Mercs, and Ducky. It hindered his exit out of the chicane as well. All the drivers now coming through. And Ducky is hunting on the back of UFRL Mercs. The kick Sauber driver just struggling with the tyres at the minute. I think all the drivers would have started on the mediums. They did. And that is Spears that's round the Red Bull driver, just not having much luck lately. And into the wall he goes in this sprint race. We are on lap 3 of 12. Yaya now back up to P14. Remember, only the top 8 score points in the sprint race. Mercs, who is your championship leader, is in a brilliant position. What about Vixen? He went to try and go for the move to get up into the podium places in this sprint. And he just had to back out. Ducky is closing the gap on Mercs. Mercs is really close to that Sauber. He could potentially get into the lead of this Grand Prix as they come out of turn 10. Down the casino straight they go. And the kick Sauber is probably not going to be able to hold on to this. Here comes Merckx in the Williams, and he is going to make the move, and Merckx is now your race leader. But look at Ducky as well. He's going to try his overtake. He tries his luck into the wall of champions, and through he goes. And the Kick Sauber picks up a penalty for his troubles. Vixen will make a move now down towards the centre S's. Caxel's there. Mr. Reese is out. And Globo Flobo goes off the circuit of the centre S's. Down to P7 goes the Sauber from the lead of this Grand Prix. Here comes Caxel in towards turn 3 and 4. Vixen is into P3. Merckx is now your race leader on lap 4 of this sprint race. Wow. So we have our first retirement. Ducky is nearly a second behind Merckx. That's what he wants. He wants to start to pull away and get out of the DRS range of that Williams in front. Into turn 10 we go. And it is Merckx that leads in the Williams. He sees the Alpine in his rearview mirror, and he's catching, but he's not going to catch in time. But Craggy is, and Craggy makes the move on Twitch Caxel, and into the wall of champions we go. Ginaudi, Oliver James is round. Oliver James is round into the wall of champions, and down to P12 the Mercedes driver goes. Ducky picks up a 3-second time penalty. Vixen pushing him through the centre S's. And now here comes Vixen. What a place to make a move. Ducky can do nothing about it, and Vixen is through as he just slides around turn 3. Sambi is through on the Sauber of Caxel. He's made a mistake. He's going to try and come back though, as he just ghosts, and it is Caxel that goes back in front. And what about Jalen in the other Sauber? Ginaudi is there. Jornborn on the back of A Fixter. It's such a difficult track to avoid penalties. Look how close Vixen is to Merckx. Remember, this is for the lead. Into turn 10 we go. Early on the throttle, down the casino straight. And it is Vixen that will get the better exit. And he is going to move into the lead. And it's our third different leader of this Grand Prix on lap 5. Vixen is your race leader on lap 5. And now here comes Merckx, but it is Vixen with the DRS. But look at the Williams, look at the Alpine as well, as all three of them try and go in towards the centre S's. Up the inside goes the Alpine, Ducky on Merckx, who's the championship leader. Craggy just watches on behind. Jalen and Ginaudi squabbling for places in P7 and P8. Merckx picks up a 3-second time penalty. Was that avoiding a collision? Craggy all over the rear wing of the Williams. He'll go later on the brakes. Up the inside we go, the Aston Martin driver. And he cannot get the move done, but it's opened up the door for Caxel in the Sauber. The rear wing is open. They nearly touch. Down towards turn 8 and 9. Later on the brakes goes the Sauber, and he has to dart off the track. And now comes Craggy, and he goes back in front of the Sauber. So Caxel doing the right thing, having to just dart off the track to avoid a collision. Thank you so much for the follow. So Merckx in the slipstream of Ducky, who's not going to be able to catch Vixen. We are halfway through this sprint race. What about Caxel? They're all stuck in that DRS train all the way down to Jornborn. Here comes Globo again on Sam B. Is he going to go later on the brakes into the centre S's? He does. He cuts the corner though, and Sam B with the better line through there, and they touch, and Ginaudi and Jalen collide. And the drivers who were 1-2 in qualifying are now 13 and 12 in the race. Caxel is going to try again on Craggy, who leaves him the space. Probably space that he wasn't entitled to, but Craggy, fair as they come, stays in P4, but Caxel will try again. Down towards turn 8 and 9. The DRS all the way down from P1 to P7. In towards turn 10 we go. Globo with another 3-second time penalty. This is going to cost him, but he's already down to P12. He's going to have to go again in qualifying. They open up the rear wings. Vixen has taken off coming out of turn 10 though. Is he able to hold on? He needs to start preserving that battery a little bit. And they're not able to make the move, but maybe now. Here comes Ducky to make it 4 separate leaders potentially in this Grand Prix. He doesn't. A slight lock-up for the Alpine as we go into the Senna S's. And that is the Kick Sauber that loses it going into the pit lane. Really unfortunate for him as he retires in this sprint race. A really fascinating race. Oliver James with a time penalty. A little snap from the Aston Martin as it opened up the door for Caxel in the Sauber. What about Ginaudi? Ginaudi's round. Ginaudi is round. So, here comes Ducky once more. He wants the lead of this Grand Prix. We're on lap 8. Maybe if he's a bit patient. Here comes Craggy up the inside of Merckx. The championship leader goes wheel to wheel with the Aston Martin. He has to go off track to avoid a collision. Caxel goes through. Will Merckx have to give that position back? And Ducky does make it 4 separate leaders in this sprint race. And he is now your leader on lap 9. Can Vixen come back? Oliver James gets a time penalty for speeding into the pit lane and retires. Yaya now up to P10. And Vixen, Merckx, that is Ducky that's round. The Alpine driver from the lead of this sprint race is round. So Caxel doing a great job of trying to make it 5 separate leaders. Here comes Merckx, the championship leader. The yellow flag is out. He cannot overtake at the moment. He's waiting for the yellow flags to go away so he can make this move. They are flashing constantly, and he's just waiting. He's waiting for the opportunity for the yellow flags to go, and I think it's just on our screen because he is going to go for the move, and so is Caxel as well. And Vixen loses 2 places and picks up a time penalty. Here comes Caxel. Oliver James leaves the session. He's still got a race to compete in. Here comes Caxel. What about Craggy on Vixen? Around the outside into the centre S's. He will have the inside line in towards turn 2. A snap from Caxel has cost him a bit of time on the championship leader. And Yaya is out. This is not a good race for some of these drivers. Oh, a snap from Craggy in the Aston Martin. But he could still potentially win this Grand Prix in the sprint race if he gets past Caxel. But Vixen is going to have something to say about it, but he does back out. Good racing from the Haas driver. Sam B is there as well. I think it's going to come down to penalties this. 2 and a bit laps to go into turn 10, and Vixen trying to stick his car up the inside. So Merckx, your race leader once more. But it is Caxel chasing him down. It is Craggy wanting that position back. Can he go for the move? Caxel does go for the move. And it's 6 separate leaders in this race now. Here comes Merckx. Craggy watches on. Can Merckx go? He switches back, but Caxel does have the DRS. Craggy is going to try and take a move up the inside of the Williams. He tries the old switcheroo, but he's not able to pull it off. Caxel has got a little bit of breathing space between him and the championship leader and Merckx. Oh, Merckx has made a mistake. The Aston Martin is through. What about Vixen? Merckx needs to hold on now. This is still big points for him. It's between Twix, Caxel and Craggy for the lead. Caxel switching over to the right-hand side, and he'll go back to the left to enter the corner at turn 8. It'll be interesting to see what Craggy does now. Because remember, DRS plays a huge part of the Grand Prix here in Canada. Out of turn 10 we go. The Aston Martin driver will get that rear wing open. He does have Merckx and the Williams behind him. Caxel switches over to the right, trying to break the slipstream away from the Aston Martin, who does stay behind him, and he has got a lot of battery, but so has Caxel in front. This is very interesting. Here comes UFRL Merckx, and he will stay behind. Vixen is going to try up the inside, though, touches the grass for the first time ever, nearly clatters into the Williams driver. A fixture on Jornborn. He does have Ducky behind him, who was the race leader. It seems like a lifetime ago that was the case. So Craggy has been patient, and it's his race, I think, to lose here. A little snap coming out of turn 7, sorry. And he will have to use a bit of battery to defend, potentially. Caxel as well. So Craggy needs to close the gap on Caxel now. This is it. We are on the penultimate lap of this sprint race. Down in towards turn 10. I don't think Craggy's close enough here. He needs a really good exit out of turn 10. And he gets it. He's only half a second behind Caxel, who slams on the battery. But so does Craggy. The rear wing opens. This is it. On the penultimate lap. Craggy is coming. He is absolutely flying. But he's not going to get it. Caxel holds on. Sam P is through on Vixen. Can he get it up towards the line? He gets a brilliant exit, but it's Caxel that just holds on. Sam B finishes in P3. Craggy, he tried his luck, but Caxel, saving his battery right to the end, timed it to perfection. Yeah, I know, Merckx, I know. I don't know what it is about Canada. Every time we race in Canada, the racing is always like below par, like massively. Just report anything. So not what we wanted to see. But it is Twitch Caxel that wins the sprint race. Craggy takes P2. Sam B takes P3, Jornborn from 12th on the grid takes P4, Vixen takes P5, Fixter in P6, Aviva in P7, Ducky in P8, Merckx in P9, Spears in P10, then comes Yaye, Ginaudi, Oliver James, Globo and Mr. Reese. So just leave any incidents to the stewards, just get them reported and we can go from there. Yeah, you can appeal 10 seconds. I don't even know what it was for, mate, so just let me know if there's a valid reason and you shouldn't have got it, then absolutely. So we are into qualifying for the feature race. Oh no, I have been muted this whole time. I cannot believe that. Oh, I was just saying how good that was between the two papayas. That was brilliant. Dave, you've missed the sprint race, mate, but if you want to jump in and do the feature race, absolutely fine, mate. So, that was fantastic teamwork from the two McLarens. It really was. And that is Craggy. Sorry, I think that is Jalen in the Kick Sauber that goes up to P3. If you need an invite, Dave, just let me know. But yeah, obviously you've missed the sprint race, but it's not the end of the world. But still got the feature race to race in. Gennady up to P4 in front of his teammate of Ducky in the other Alpine. The two papayas into P7 and P8. Viva on an outlap, so is Jornborn. Here's Caxel trying to improve. Yeah, I'll invite you, mate. I don't know if it's I think it's you're not PlayStation, are you? Yeah, EA, that's it. So Viva is on a lap. We'll stay on board with him a minute. I need to grab a drink. I need to see why my stream keeps lagging so much as well. It's a little bit annoying. So on board with Viva, he goes up to P9 with a 1:10.9. A-Fixter is improving. What about Yaya? I think it's A-Fixter who's just in front at the moment. Oh, he's down on his lap time, but remember he got that huge tow from his teammate coming down the casino straight, and it's always going to be difficult to replicate that sort of time down there. Spears in the Red Bull. Here comes Vixen into the wall of champions. What can he do? He invalidates it, and that will invalidate his next lap as well, with 10 minutes of this qualifying remaining for the feature race here in Canada. And Vixen has invalidated it. Dangerous Dave is into his Red Bull. Viva on an in lap. What about A-Fix, who didn't improve? Sam B is going to try the same. The McLarens have already worked together once. Jornborn with that rear wing open. He's still out on the mediums, so he's not trying them softs yet. Yaya goes even quicker in the Ferrari, a 109.0. He's 6 tenths quicker than everybody else here. The Haas just moving out of the way. What about Sam B? He's invalidated it, so we go on board with Jornborn coming out of turn 10. His teammate currently in P2, and into the pit lane goes Jornborn. Trying to find a driver now on a lap. Spears went up to P7. So a lot of the drivers just setting a few banker laps. We've got 8 minutes of this qualifying session remaining. No way, Vixen. I'm trying to get my account back. I don't know what happened this morning. really don't know what happened. I just woke up and my account was disabled. Crazy. So the championship leader Merckx up to P7. So a good lap from him on the mediums as well. And he's still got 6 minutes to get back out, get on them soft compounds and set another lap. It was an absolutely hectic race in the bronze division if you watched it at 10 AM this morning. It was just had everything, didn't it? Sam B, I think, is on another lap. He is. And he's, look at this, he's got his teammate in front of him again. Are they going to work together again? This is the definition of great teammates, this. I think he's a little bit far in front. Oh, he's just slowing down. He is waiting for him. Here comes Sam B into turn 10 a little bit deep. He went purple sector 2 as well. Hopefully that hasn't cost him too much time. Here comes Sam B and A Fixter. Into the slipstream they go. Look at this. Brilliantly executed again. Oh, right to the limit. Sam B getting the biggest toe you can get down the casino straight into the wall of champions. Sam B to the line. It's a 109.7. He's up to P3. What teamwork from the Papayas. A Dangerous Dave coming out of turn 10. The Red Bull driver missed out on the sprint race. Needs to get it. Needs to get a good result in the feature race. Down the casino straight towards the wall of champions for the Red Bull driver. Over the double apex, nearly into the wall. Look at that, right on the limit that was. Down towards the line. Dangerous Dave goes up to P12. Every driver now in the pit lane with 4 minutes to go. Remember, if you haven't followed already, please do make sure to give us a follow. It massively helps us out. And we are one of the biggest esports racing leagues in the world, which is unbelievable. I cannot actually believe that a league started in COVID, just to kill a bit of time, has become such an incredible league for so many drivers. It's truly incredible, it really is. And what a community as well, what a community. And so a couple of the drivers back on outlaps. Unbelievable teamwork for the McLaren boys, absolutely. Yeah, Nimble Cap, brilliantly done from Sam and Adam. Really helped him out as well. It'd be super close without Yaya. This is definitely one of his stronger tracks, the Ferrari driver. Spears and Fixter are back on their way out with 3 minutes to go. Still a lot of drivers in the pit lane. Sorry guys, I apologise. I didn't mean to unmute the mic at that time. I'm just full of I have really bad allergies, and it does my head in. I'm so sorry. A Fixter, look at that. He was so close to the wall of the champions. A Fixter goes up to P7. Craggy did back out of his lap time. Yeah, this is definitely one of his stronger tracks here, because he is showing some unbelievable pace. Dangerous Dave, Jornborn both starting their lap. They are really close on track though. Viva just in front of him on his lap. What about Vixen? He's right there as well. They're all really close on the track. Craggy has moved out the way. Yaya is surely he's not finding any improvement. He's invalidated it. He's not going to find any improvement, and it's going to be really tight if he gets to the line in time. 25 seconds to go. Craggy is in P2, Sambi in P3. What about Ducky in the Alpine? We'll try and get on board with some of these leaders. Here comes Spears. He's down on his lap time. Maybe just regenerating that battery for another run. Jornborn is 3 tenths up in the Aston Martin. Dangerous Dave is just in front of him in the Red Bull coming out of turn 10. I think there's Viva just in front in the RB, and the checkered flag has waved and he hasn't made it to the line. So here we go. I think there is a McLaren there as well. Is that Sam B in the Papaya? It is. No, it's A Fixter going down in towards the pit lane. Viva comes towards your line. Viva stays P13. Dangerous Dave in the Red Bull will be next. Goes up to P11. What about Jornborn goes up to P8. Vixen takes P2. Provisional front row for him at the moment. Here comes Sam B. He's not improving. Ginaudi is though. That is Craggy. Twitch Caxel goes up to P4. Ginaudi and Ducky, the two Alpines. Ducky will be next. Where can he put it? He's 6 tenths up, down to the line, up to P2. A 109.0 for the Alpine driver. Ginaudi and Merckx will be next. Merckx has invalidated it, and the championship leader, after getting no points in the sprint race, is down to P11 for the feature race. Here comes Ginaudi down the casino straight towards the wall of champions. The Dutchman, look at that on the limit, down towards the line for Ginaudi. Where's he going to go? Up to P5. Yaya takes pole again. What a qualifying session that is. So Yaya once more takes pole position and will start on the front row of the Canadian Grand Prix at the feature race. Ducky will start alongside him in P2. Vixen on the second row of the grid and the Haas in P3. Craggy in the Aston Martin alongside him in P4. It's an all-Dutch lockout on the third row with Ginaudi in the Alpine in P5 and Caxel in the Sauber in P6. Sam B in the McLaren in P7 and the Kick Sauber in P8. On the fifth row of the grid, it's the other Papaya of A Fixter in P9 and Jornborn in the Aston Martin in P10. Then comes Merckx in the Williams, the championship leader. Spears and Dangerous Dave both in the Red Bulls in P12 and P13. Viva in the V-Cab in P14. Mr. Reese in P15 and Oliver James in the other Mercedes completing the grid. Looks a bit murky and grey out there. How are we going to expect some rain? We shall see. That'll throw a right spanner in the works if there is rain. I'm sure one of the drivers will let us know. So we're getting ready for the formation lap as we get underway here for the feature race in the Silver Division. 16 drivers on the grid, all bidding to win this Grand Prix. Remember, guys, if you do want to be a part of Formula 7 racing and you want to race next Sunday, make sure you join the Discord. The link is in the bio, and we'll get you racing. We will get you racing. Cheers, Craggy. Right, here we go. We definitely don't want to be on mute for the start of the race, do we? That's the best bit. This is it for the Canadian Grand Prix here in the Silver Division for the feature race. And it's lights out and away we go. Yaya gets an awful start off the grid. It's Ducky that goes into the lead. Craggy and Ginaldi are there as well. Into the centre S's. Yaya's already down 3 places. A Fixter and Sam B have had a huge collision. One of them's got a 10-second time penalty. All that teamwork for nothing. Here comes the 2 Salbers. And Globo Flobo goes behind Twitch Caxel. A Fixter's still there on the back of Yorbon but with that 10-second time penalty. UFRL Merckx is already up a position. The championship leader, Dangerous Dave, already up 2. Mr. Reese up 3 at the start of this Grand Prix. Sam B in the McLaren down to P16, but has he got damage as well? He hasn't, which is really good for him. But Ducky is the race leader coming down towards turn 10. Craggy in P2. Ginaldi is there in the podium places. Yaya, who started on pole position. Look at that from Caxel up the inside of Yaya. That was a huge lunge from the Sauber driver. And Yaya loses another position. And now here comes Globo on his teammate into the slipstream of the other Sauber driver. Can he make the move as we go down towards the Wall of Champions? Craggy is not going to, but Globo just backs out. Dangerous Dave on Mr. Reese, not even with DRS yet as well, getting the overtake done. At the end of lap 1, it is the 2 Alpines into the podiums. What an awful start for Yaya. What happened there off the starting line? Sam B is through on Oliver James, who's not even in the lobby. He left in the sprint race and never joined back. I hope that doesn't cause any issues for anybody if a safety car comes out. So here we go. Ducky, the race leader. He started on the mediums. He could go medium hards again for the 2-stopper or just straight onto the hards, as we've seen so many different strategies in the bronze race. The 2 Saubers in P4 and P5, and they are going to trade places. Here comes Globo Flobo on the outside of Twitch Caxel in towards turn 10. Later on the brakes goes Caxel. But it's Globo that gets the better exit and moves in front of his teammate. And there's no team orders. Sauber rules here in Canada. Here comes Vixen. Ducky has been taken by Craggy. And Craggy is now the race leader on lap 2. And Ducky just clatters into the Wall of Champions as well. I don't think he got damaged, but now his teammate is all over the back of him. Globo sets the fastest lap. Here comes Yaya on the back of Twitch Caxel, who leaves him the space into the centre S's. Can Yaya get the better exit? He's also got Vixen there. Vixen down 4 places. Yaya down 5. That's not a good start for them. So, it's so close. Here comes Vixen on Yaya. He will make the move. And the Haas driver goes in and through in towards turn 8 and 9 in front of the Scarlet Ferrari. Merckx has started on the hard compound, so the championship leader going for a completely different strategy. Down the inside goes the McLaren on Yorbon, wheel to wheel as they come out of turn 10, and he will go slot back in behind the Aston Martin. They'll all have the DRS. There's a huge DRS train all the way down towards sort of P11 here. That is Twitch Caxel that gets back through on his teammate. That might hinder them if they don't start working together. Here comes Ducky again on the inside into the centre S's. Ducky is back into the race lead. We missed an overtake there. Dangerous Dave on his teammate of Spears got through, and so did I think there was another overtake just further down. Oh, look at Vixen all over the back of Globo in at the Sauber, but he's not going to go for a move there. He's going to play it safe. Here comes Craggy again with that DRS open. But he's going to back out. He's going to be patient and wait into turn 10. Ginaudi just watching on. Then come the two Saubers who, if they started to work together, these two Saubers, they could potentially do some damage to that front three. Oh, there's a bit of a collision there. The Haas and the Ferrari colliding towards turn 10. I don't know if Yornbo was caught up in that as well. Here comes Dangerous Dave on Mr. Reese. They are closing the gap. Here comes Craggy on the Alpine, moves to the left-hand side. They nearly touch. And Craggy back into the lead of the Grand Prix. What about Vixen on Globo Flobo? You don't want to go wheel-to-wheel through the Wall of Champions, but they do. And they do touch, but they both get through safely. Now here comes Yaya to capitalise on the squabbling that's going on between the Haas and the Sauber. The Ferrari goes up the inside. He just loses the rears for a second. And so does Globo. A Fixter goes through. Globo not having a good time here. Merckx is behind him on them hards. He's going to be patient. He's on a completely different strategy, and he knows it. Sam B is through on Spears. So we have Ginaudi all over the back of his teammate. When did they trade places? Through turn 8 and 9 they go. A DRS train all the way down to P16 when there's no driver here. Vixen potentially might lose it actually. So really interesting race on lap 5. The DRS is enabled. Is there going to be rain? That is the question. With drivers starting on the hards, I don't know. Here comes Ginaudi on his teammate. What about Merckx on Globo? The Williams driver will move on through of the Sauber, and Yornbom will get in front of the Papaya of A Fixter as they go into the Wall of Champions. Caxel gets a great exit, and he might move in front of Ginaudi here. And he does the wheel-to-wheel through the centre S's, and he gets through. Spears is from Mr. Reese, who makes a mistake, and Sam B as well. Yaya takes a penalty, and round goes Mr. Reese. Viva goes into him. He collects his end plate, and that's two cars that collide. Mr. Reese is round. Viva getting wing damage. One Kidney Jim using his channel points. So Craggy into the lead down towards turn 10. Can Ducky get the move done? He is super close though, isn't he? Ducky is super close to the back of Craggy. That is my favourite one of all time. I used to watch it all the time, and Mrs. used to go mad at me, that squirrel one. Down the inside goes Ducky. Wow, what a move. And Craggy has to back out. That was brave through the Wall of Champions. Here comes Vixen on Ginaudi to make the move. And Twitch, Caxel and Craggy go into the centre S's. It's Craggy that has to back out once more. He's trying to play it safe because these drivers are just barging their way through. There was a few overtakes at the back as well. Sam B, I think, and Dangerous Dave exchanging places. Vixen on the back of Craggy, who was the race leader just a lap ago, and now he's down to P3. Potentially it could get even worse for him. Down in towards turn 10 we go. Vixen trying to switch back, but Craggy will get the better exit. Remember, Ducky does have a time penalty. What about Merckx on A Fixter? Are them hard compound tyres starting to come into play now? Craggy is through. Oh, Twitch Caxel hits the back of the Aston Martin as he slams on the brakes. And Twitch Caxel loses the rears as he opened up the door for Vixen. Down towards the centre S's at turn 1. And Vixen can't get through. What about Yaya round the outside of Ginaudi? Merckx on the back of A Fixter. 7 laps on the mediums. Jumbo, Yaya is round. Yaya's made another mistake and he's down to P9. He started on pole position in the sprint race. He ended up with no points. He started on pole position in the feature race. He's down to P9. Here comes Spears on Globo as well. The Sauber driver is into the wall. Could that be a safety car? Dangerous Dave and Sam B in towards turn 8 and 9 they go. Dangerous Dave is through on the Papaya. Vixen as well on Caxel. Vixen is into the podium places. Ducky has opened up a gap. A DRS train has gone from the race leader. This is interesting now. Here comes Caxel on Vixen. And he will go up the inside as they go down towards Quebec at the Wall of Champions. And he is through. Here's another snap again. And Vixen is going to come back at him. Vixen in the house. The Sauber of Caxel down towards the Center S's. The Sauber goes later on the brakes. He will have the inside line in towards turn 2. Vixen will have the grip though. He'll get the better exit. And that is Ducky in the Alpine this round. From the lead of this Grand Prix. He'd broken the DRS and there's a huge collision. Globo is out. Yellow flags are waving. He's out in the pit lane. And Caxel in the other Sauber is round with a collision with Vixen. They were both in podium places. But it is all over now as Craggy is 2 seconds clear of the pack. Merckx with that 3-second time penalty. But he's in a really strong position as the championship leader now. It is drama here in Canada. Remember, anything can happen. We're only on lap 9. What about Jornborn on Ducky? The Aston Martin driver will move over to the left. And he's going to try and go later on the brakes. But he turns in. Oh, and he has to back out there. And it was Jornborn that had to back out on Ducky, and it opens the door for Merckx. And through goes the championship leader. And now Dangerous Dave on the Scarlet Ferrari of Yaya, the Swedishman on the British driver. Wheel to wheel once more. Dangerous Dave, remember, on them hard compounds will have so much more grip than the Ferrari. And he does move through and up to P7. And again Yaya is round. He's opened up the door for Sam B. What about Spears as well? And Yaya is struggling. He's just struggling with that car. Ginaudi has already caught up to Craggy and he's nearly back within DRS range. Vixen is into the pits and on fresh hards goes the Haas driver. Dangerous Dave is on a charge now. Merckx, it looks like his strategy is starting to play off. Ginaudi didn't get DRS. He's going to leave himself open from his teammate. Does Ducky go for the move? He's going to have to, because here comes Merckx. They're going to go 3 wide into the Wall of Champions. Ducky is through. So is Merckx. Merckx, the championship leader, is up to P2. A double Alpine overtake. Here comes Ducky. He's going to come back at him down the inside of the Center S's. Merckx leaves him the space, but he'll have the inside line in towards turn 2. Dangerous Dave on a fixture on the Papaya is through as well. Them hard compound tyres really coming into their own now. And Ducky in the Alpine will have to settle back in behind Merckx, who could potentially be your race leader before he pits. That is brilliant. What a strategy for the Williams here. Yaya down to P10. He's nearly out the points again after starting on pole position. Oh, Craggy goes deep. It looks like even the Aston Martin driver is now starting to feel the tear and the wear of their medium compounds. Oh, the drivers are so close. Jornborn goes through on Ginaudi, and the Aston Martin driver is up to P4. And Ginaudi goes into the pit lane. He's committed early. 11 laps on the mediums, and he has gone in. So he's going for that huge undercut. It's where he comes out, which is really important in this race. If he comes out into a lot of free air, he is absolutely laughing. And if he comes out in front of Mr. Reese, who's going into the pit lane, and he is, Ginaudi is in so much clean air. This is really strong for him. Viva with a 3-second time penalty. Merckx is within DRS range of Craggy in the Aston Martin. The two McLarens in P6 and P7. But Spears is there in the Red Bull. Yeah, now it's P9 after Nardi pits. There's a yellow flag's waving. Vixen with a 3-second time penalty. That is Caxel that's round. That is Caxel in the Sauber that is round. Oliver James getting through Vixen, who's had a mistake, but Oliver James isn't here. And Spears goes through on Sam B. What a move for the Red Bull driver. Fixer's into the pit lane. He's going for the undercut. The McLarens will be working together. They know not to pit on the same lap. And look how close Merckx is to Craggy. Spears with a 3-second time penalty. Where does Fixer come out? If he comes out... Oh, he's taking a penalty as well, I think. He is. So Fixer getting rid of his penalty. Caxel has gone into the pit lane and retired. That is really unfortunate for him. Still a long way to go in this race, and he's still not on a bad strategy. So Merckx could potentially be your race leader by the end of this lap. Into turn 10 we go. And the Williams driver, look how close he is to the Aston Martin and the championship leader on lap 13 here in Canada. He's closing him down, but he's not using his battery and he's not going to make the move here. Interesting. Ducky gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane. He'll be kicking himself about that one. Sam B now pits. Look how... it's so strategic, and the communication between the two McLarens to pit a lap after each other. Remember, Fixer going for that undercut. Look how close Merckx is to the back of Craggy in the Aston Martin. Them hard compounds will be so much better than the mediums and the R, and he's going to make the move, and Merckx is through, and he is now your race leader on lap 14. The championship leader, also your race leader. A slight snap of the rears as he came out of there, and that might give Craggy a chance to return the favour as they go in towards turn 10. Craggy is very close to that Williams driver. He'll get the DRS as well. Merckx did save a lot of battery. Ducky is through on Viva. Can Craggy get the move back? He is coming. Here comes the Aston Martin on the Williams, and Craggy says, thank you for the DRS. I'll take it. And into the wall of champions goes the Aston Martin driver. He's going late on these mediums. Jornbon goes into the pit lane. Spears stays out. So does Yaye. They're waiting for something to happen. Adam wanted to dispute the 10-second. That's so annoying, because once he gets rid of it in the race, there's nothing you can do about it, and we would have took it. We would have obviously had a look at that at the end of the race, but it's so frustrating. So Sam B is coming round. Jornbon comes out just in front of him. Ginaudi is now on the back of his teammate, which is really unusual. That is Merckx that goes into the lead of the Grand Prix again in the same spot he did on the very last lap. It's very unusual that Ginaudi has pitted, gone for the undercut, and come out behind his teammate. I did not expect that. Oh, look at this. The two Alpines trying to get past the RB. And Ginaudi goes onto the grass, down towards turn 10 they go. Craggy is back into the lead of the Grand Prix, but look at this for a battle. Ginaudi round the outside of his teammate of Ducky. They have Viva in front of them. They'll both get the DRS. It's Ginaudi that's in front on the older hard tyres. Spears and Yaye go into the pit lane. Ginaudi's flying. He just hits the wall slightly. Here comes Ducky now as well, who's just pushing him through into the wall of champions. Yaye and Spears go into the pit lane. Merckx is back into P2. This is only helping Craggy's race with the DRS. Where are these drivers going to come out? Sam B is through. Fixer with that 3-second time penalty. Ginaudi 17 seconds behind the pack, but remember, these all still need to pit. And Merckx doesn't go for the overtake in the same place this time, but he's give Dangerous Dave an opportunity. He's also on the exact same strategy as Merckx. Down towards turn 10, is Dangerous Dave going to go for it? He's patient, he waits, he preys on them in front. Merckx coming out of turn 10, he doesn't get the exit he wants. Dangerous Dave is all over the rear diffuser of that Williams in front. Here comes the Red Bull, they'll both get DRS on the Aston Martin in front, but Craggy got a good exit. And will he go into the pit lane? He does, and he leaves the two hard runners on a different strategy to fight it out between them. Yaye on Spears. And the Ferrari driver is coming with some pace. And the Scuderia is through on the Red Bull. Into the wall of champions. Oh, Spears, who's out on fresh tyres as well. That would have cost him some time. Where does Craggy come out? That is the question. He's come out in front of Ginaudi. Wow. That is fantastic to stay out that long on the mediums and to come out in front of everybody you were battling with. Wow, the overcut is strong here. Or at least Craggy's made it look strong. Yaye through on Viva in towards turn 6 and 7. Oliver James into the pit lane. Chinaudi and Duckett, the two Alpines once more. And they are on the back of Craggy in that Aston Martin. It's interesting to see when Merckx and Dangerous Dave do pit, but looking at the overcut strategy, they're going to be in a very strong position. Here comes Duckett on his teammate, and the fighting between themselves. Is that going to hinder their attempts to overtake the Aston Martin in front, who is on fresher hard tyres? Duckett got an unbelievable entrance and exit into the wall of champions, but still Craggy using that battery to stay in front, and he's doing a very good job of it. Dangerous Dave all over the back of him. Vixen goes into the pit lane. A-Fixter is through. Samby still on the back of Yarnball. Duckett getting a bit impatient behind Craggy there. Dangerous Dave will have that DRS down the casino straight. We are halfway through this Grand Prix. We've not seen a single safety car, but both Saubers are out of this race. Oh, Merckx got a really good exit out of turn 10. What about Duckett? I think Craggy is doing everything to stay in front, but it takes a while for the heat to get into them hard tyres. Spears is through on Viva in the sister car. Now, can he get the move done on Craggy, who gets a really good exit? But both the Alpines might have an opportunity here. Here comes Duckett on the back of that Aston Martin. Down the casino straight they go. But no, Craggy stays in front again. And I'm not sure this is right, but I'm pretty sure Craggy is actually losing time to the two hard runners in front. He came out of the pit lane, he was 15.2 behind them. He's now 15.8. This is unbelievable. What a drive from Dave and Merckx here. The pit lane is around 16, 17 seconds, I think, as well. So Wonkedy Jim did 29 laps on the hards. They were only at 40%, he says. So wow, that is something to take on board here. If Merckx and Dangerous Dave come out on fresh mediums and are still only in like P4 and P5, this is their race to take. That is Spears back from Viva, the Red Bull driver on the RB, and that might give A-Fixter an opportunity to catch up to the back of them. Merckx is staying in front of Dangerous Dave for now. Oh, and A-Fixter just locking up. That has hindered his chance at an overtake. Here comes Ducky on Craggy. Is he finally going to get the move down into the wall of champions? The Alpine goes through. The Aston Martin is hindered, and it might open the door for Ginaudi behind. Into the slipstream of the Aston Martin goes the other Alpine, and they're going to try and make a move. And the Aston Martin goes up the inside into the centre S's, but has to settle back in behind. And this battling is only helping two drivers, and that is Merckx and Dangerous Dave. What a race. Vixen with a time penalty. Remember, Craggy doesn't have any. Neither does Gennady or Jornbon or Sambi. That could be crucial when we get to the end of this race. A fixture all over the back of Viva. 15 laps remaining. And a fixture is going to go for a move on Viva in towards turn 8 and 9. Round the outside he goes. And the Papaya is through. Dangerous Dave is through. Merckx finally goes for the overtake. And Dangerous Dave is your race leader on lap 20. Can Merckx respond? He is the championship leader. Craggy is back front. Duckett. And he will say thank you very much. That DRS is only going to help me out. And he's on fresher tyres. So the undercut definitely not strong here. And what about Gennady? He's going to go for a move on his teammate. The two, oh, they collide. Gennady has lost positions. The two Alpines not working together. And he comes out right in front of Yaye there, the Alpine driver. Yaye back up to P7. Ducky stays in P4. He's still on the back of Craggy in the Aston. What about Merckx on Dangerous Dave? This is an interesting race. A really interesting race. Vixen is now out on the mediums, but he's got a lot of work to do. Can Merckx get that position back? He is going to the Williams. And you know what? With Merckx and Dangerous Dave switching back on each other with that DRS, it will help them out. They're both into the pit lane, finally into the pits as Craggy is starting to put a dent in that lead. Where will they come out? That is the question. Onto the mediums they go. So does Dangerous Dave. Ducky gets another time penalty. They're both coming through. Ducky will make the move on Craggy. This battle in between the pair of them is only helping Dangerous Dave and Merckx. And they are on the way out of the pit lane. Where are they going to come out? Ducky is round! And that is the second of the Alpines that goes round. Dangerous Dave and Merckx. Dangerous Dave has come out behind Yaye and Gennady, and Merckx has come out in front of him. Wow, what a couple of attempts can do in the race. Ducky is out. Yellow flags waving. Spears with a time penalty. Vixen is out as well. Into the pit lane and out for Vixen. 13 laps to go. The two Astons are 1-2. Sambi in the podiums. But Merckx is only 1.1 seconds behind them on the mediums. Wow. This has become very interesting. Jornbon is through. I think Craggy just moved out of the way there to let his teammate through because the Aston Martins know that if they work together here, there's a potential for a 1-2 Aston Martin. Dangerous Dave will be fuming. He's come out behind Yaye and Gennady after pitting at the same time as Merckx. Merckx knows that he's got to get through these drivers. And I tell you what, Jornbon and Craggy, I think, have got a very good opportunity in this Grand Prix. Especially with 12 laps remaining. They're going to be on the hards. Especially Craggy, who's on 6 lap old hards. By the time we get to the end of this race, their mediums and hards will be pretty similar on pace. So Ducky is out. Out of turn 10 we go. Will they trade places again just to help each other out? Here comes Merckx. And Dangerous Dave will make the move on Gennady. And the Alpine driver will not be able to defend that at all. Craggy does stay behind Jornbon. Sambi is there. Merckx is chasing them down. And the longer that he stays behind these Aston Martins, the harder this is going to become to win this race for him. This is so competitive. We've got a DRS train from P1 all the way down to P7 on lap 24. It's literally anybody's race to win. Merckx knows that he needs to get through Sam B before he can do anything with the Aston Martins. That's a yellow flag. That is Spears that's round. And the Red Bull driver is round and he has got damage. Yellow flag's waving as Viva goes through. The question is, can Merckx get the overtake? He gets a good exit out of turn 10, but he needs to use that battery to get through on the McLaren. He opens up the rear wing and Merckx is back into the podium places, and he's got 2 Aston Martins in front of him now. He got the move done. A yellow flag as Viva now loses it. Wow, Viva is onto the grass. Mr. Reese is coming through and Yaya is from Sambi. A lunge there from the Ferrari driver. And Viva is missing an end plate. The V-carb driver. He's going to go into the pit lane just to repair that front wing. So Jornborn is the race leader. Craggy in P2. That is Mr. Reese that goes through on Spears, who's also into the pit lane. Merckx chasing down on them fresh medium compound tyres. And that is Dangerous Dave and Sam B. And Dangerous Dave goes round the outside of Sam B, and so will Ginaudi as well. Remember, Ginaudi pitted before everybody onto them hard compounds. So he's a little bit older. But Sammy's just going to play the patient game here. Remember, A. Fixter would be right there with them had he not have had that 10-second penalty. And look at this, Merckx is not able to do anything because the Aston Martins have got DRS and they're working together as well. This is great teamwork from Jornborn and Craggy, and if they do finish 1-2, hats off to both of them. Viva with that time penalty. Look at Merckx. The longer that Merckx stays behind one of these Astons, one of the Aston Martins, it's only going to benefit themselves. And look at this huge DRS train. 9 laps to go here in Canada. What a feature race it's been. It's been absolutely incredible. Remember to follow our TikTok, guys. Formula 7 Racing. And Merckx and Craggy do go wheel to wheel in towards turn 10. Viva is out. Viva is out. I think it's a retirement in the pit lane. It is. So Jornborn, Merckx and Craggy go at it. Here comes Craggy. Merckx has got the DRS. Is he going to try and go into the lead? No, he doesn't. He backs out. Dangerous Davies through and Yaya down into the World of Champions. The Red Bull driver is through and up to P4. Can Merckx take the lead of this Grand Prix? It's where he needs to be, but he can't, and Craggy will stay in P3. Merckx knows he needs to get through on Jornborn ASAP. 11 drivers remain. Remember, guys, our Instagram, Formula_7_. Go and follow us on Instagram to see all the race after race posts and everything like that. Here comes Merckx on the back of the Aston Martin of Jornborn. Oh, they're within 3/10 of a second of each other. Craggy is going to try and come back at Merckx. Wheel to wheel in towards turn 8 and 9. Merckx has to go off the track. He does get a time penalty for his troubles. Craggy and Dangerous Dave come. Merckx is down to P4. This is unbelievable. Dangerous Dave in towards turn 10 at the hairpin. And he's going to try and make the move on Craggy. It's still 1-2 Aston. But for how long? Here comes Dangerous Dave. That rear wing will open. Merckx is absolutely flying. He's going to go back up to P3. Merckx using the battery. Is he going to go for the overtake on the Astons? Craggy is now back into the lead of the Grand Prix. Jornborn takes a penalty, and surely he's going to do a Sergio Perez now and back up that pack for his teammate. 7 laps remaining here in Montreal. Yaya and Dangerous Dave go wheel to wheel through the centre S's out of turn 2 and 3. Craggy is the race leader. Merckx went for it. It didn't pay off. Dangerous Dave is there. Remember, these two on the mediums. All the rest of the grid on the hards. Craggy needs to try and escape that DRS range. The longer that these medium runners stay behind, the more opportunity they're giving to the hard runners. Jornborn is through on his teammate. Teamwork from the Astons once more. Jornborn goes off the track. Craggy stays on it. Merckx is wheel to wheel. He's going to go for the double Aston overtake. He nearly collides with Craggy, who goes down the inside. And Yaye from out of nowhere is here. Dangerous Dave makes a move, the Red Bull driver. Yaye, with the lunge for his life, tried to make the move. Nearly collided with the Williams driver, who's the championship leader. It's getting scrappy now. Jornborn in the Aston, race leader. Craggy in P2, Merckx in P3. Dangerous Dave is there as well. All bidding to win this Grand Prix. Yaye, Ginaudi, Sam B. I literally have no idea who's going to win this race. I really don't. Craggy's not got a time penalty, so that's going to be a huge place. Ginaudi and Sam B can potentially finish on the podium because they've got no time penalties. This is massive. Here comes Merckx on the back of Craggy. He's literally pushing him through turn 8 and 9. So competitive, so close, and you're bound to have collisions when you are racing so close like this. And he's going to go around the outside. Merckx. Jornborn is the race leader. He's probably going to let Craggy through. Craggy closes the door on Merckx. They need to be careful here. They nearly touch. Craggy will get the DRS on his teammate. Merckx is going to try and burn that battery. Both of the Astons are covering off the track. They go wheel to wheel, Craggy and Merckx. But for how long? Into the wall of the champions they go. And the Aston Martins are basically like an Aston wall down the casino straight. They are blocking every opportunity. Round the outside goes Merckx. Can he get the better exit? These hards and these mediums are going to be very close in pace now. But here comes Merckx. Into turn 3 and 4 they go. Merckx slides around. He has to go off the track. Dangerous David Yaye will go through. So will Ginaudi. And Merckx, from racing for the lead, has gone down to P6. That is how close it is on track. Merckx will be getting extremely frustrated now. The Aston Martins are doing an unbelievable job of defending. They have to obviously keep it within the rules and in the laws of this game. Dangerous Dave will go down towards turn 10. They're doing a great job, the Astons, of defending. And the teamwork is unbelievable. 5 laps to go. Every time somebody goes for the overtake, the Aston Martins basically cover off both sides of the track. It's brilliant to watch, but they need to be extra careful that they're not obviously pushing it over that line. Merckx is through on Ginaudi and back up to P5. Yaye on the back. Here comes Dangerous Dave as well. Wheel to wheel with the Ferrari. What about Merckx around the outside? This is only going to help the Aston Martins with these three battling for position. Craggy is still in P2. Dangerous Dave takes a time penalty. Merckx is there. So is Ginaudi. Sam B. Spears is on the back of Mr. Reese. He's going to go for the overtake. The Red Bull driver goes up to P9 and makes the move on Mr. Reese. And Yaye is round. The Ferrari of Yaye is round. And the man from Sweden. And Merckx and Dangerous Dave battling. They've lost DRS to the Aston Martins. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. It's a defensive masterclass. Teamwork as well for the Astons. Merckx will try and go for that move. Dangerous Dave. Nothing. Oh, he does get DRS. Wow. We are on lap 32 now of 35. Craggy, remember, doesn't have a time penalty. Ginaudi and Sam B are on for podiums here. This is brilliant. Yaye goes into the pit lane. Oh, he retires. He was on for points as well. Even in the position he was, he could have pitted, gone into fresh tyres and still stayed in P8. Oh, Dangerous Dave and Merckx collide again. Ginaudi is through. Dangerous Dave and Mercs, both of the drivers that went from hards to mediums, do collide. Dangerous Dave now on the back of Craggy, who's 2 seconds behind Yarnbone. But remember, he doesn't have a time penalty. Ginaldi will go through on the Red Bull, and the Williams goes up the backside of that Red Bull in front. Mercs will go through and up to P4. Ginaldi is now on for a P2 finish. I've got a feeling Craggy is helping his teammate here. Mercs and Dangerous Dave wheel to wheel once more out of turn 10. Down the casino straight we go. Mercs is up to P4. Let's just have a look at penalties. It's 3 seconds. I've got a feeling Craggy's helping Yarnbone here. This is unbelievable. Ginaldi will go through on the Aston Martin driver. Into the wall, the champions! Ginaldi is into the wall. Mercs gets another penalty. Ginaldi has got front wing damage on lap 33. Craggy is 3 seconds behind his teammate. Surely he's not going to give him the win, though. Drama, drama, drama. Every single time we race in Canada, this is what it's like. And Sam B is on for a P3 finish, I think, here, because Craggy has given his teammate a 3-second gap. If that is tactical and he does still win the race, wow, what a drive that'll be. But Yarnbone is flying. But I don't know if he'd give him that much of a gap, to be quite honest with you. Well, to be honest, it's still the same points, regardless of who finishes first and second out of Yarnbone and Craggy. It's still the same points for the team. So Craggy knows if he gives his teammate a 3-second gap, here comes Mercs, he knows if Craggy gives him a 3-second gap, that Craggy will finish P2 regardless of where he finishes. And if Yarnbone keeps that 3 seconds, it's huge points on the board for Aston Martin in the Constructors' battle. Maybe that's what they're thinking about. That's the way they're going to win a trophy this season, that Constructors' battle. Mercs has got a huge lead in the Drivers' Championship. So maybe that's what they're thinking about. It doesn't matter who finishes first and second here, Yarnbone. I'm going to hold up the pack. I'm going to do my best for you to finish first. I've not got a time penalty. I'm guaranteed P2. So I'm going to hold up the pack because it definitely looked like he slowed up the drivers behind. And Yarnbone has now got a bit of a lead in front. Spears, Ginaldi's into the pit lane. Spears is through. Ginaldi will pretty much stay in position, I think. He'll still get points if he gets the fastest lap as well. Sam B is on for a podium finish as well. Craggy will get DRS. We are going on to the penultimate lap of what's been a very, very eventful Canadian Grand Prix. Out of turn 10 we go. Craggy will get the DRS. Then mediums will be dying off now with that DRS. And Craggy will make the move down the casino straight towards the Wall of Champions. Craggy could potentially still win this Grand Prix if he closes that gap enough. He's within 3 seconds now. Well, just out of it, actually. Wow, on the very final lap, Yarnbone is the race leader. He's 3 seconds clear. He's got the back marker of Oliver James, who's not been here the whole race, in front of him. He could potentially get DRS off that Mercedes. Can Mercs make the move? Craggy knows that the Aston Martins have got this 1-2 in the back. And Dangerous Dave has spun. Sam B is up to P4. Dangerous Dave has got a big gap though. But here comes A Fixter. He's absolutely flying. Can the McLarens get a good result? Dangerous Dave doesn't have wing damage. A Fixter is closing the gap. Here comes Mercs. Craggy is 3.3 behind his teammate of Yarnbone. The Astons are going to finish 1-2 here in Canada. What a display of racing. There's a lot to discuss though and a lot of incidents to get through. But let's just concentrate on the race. Craggy is within 3 seconds. But he doesn't want to get too much closer than this because Mercs will get that P2 away from Yarnbone. He's 3.5 behind Yarnbone. Mercs down towards the Wall of Champions. 3.2 now behind Yarnbone. Yarnbone needs to get a move on. Craggy is going to win this race. Mercs is going to take the P2 away from the Aston Martin. Here they come and Craggy wins. Yarnbone takes P2. Sam B on the podium. It's a 1-2 Aston and Craggy wins. Wow, A Fixter takes P5 as well. Wow, that's some great points for McLaren on the board. Remember guys, follow our TikTok for any of these race highlights and clips at the end of this Grand Prix. well done to Mr. Reese as well and Spears for finishing the Grand Prix, because it takes a lot when you're having a race like that to finish and to get points as well. Well done. There we have it, your race winner, Craggy, in the Aston Martin. Well done, Aston Martin 1-2 and an all-British podium. We've not had an all-British podium for a very long time. Let's have a look at the final standings. So it is Craggy that wins the Grand Prix. Yornborn takes P2. Sam B takes P3. Remember, Merckx had 9 seconds, so it actually didn't matter for Craggy. I think that's why he was racing the way he was. Just an unbelievable race. Very eventful. A lot to talk about, though. A lot to go through. So, Merckx, the championship leader, in P4. A-Fixter, P5. Dangerous Dave in P6. Ginaldi in P7, Spears in P8, Mr. Reese in P9, and Oliver James. No, it was actually Yaya that finishes in P10. Even though he didn't finish, he still finished in the points because he was the final retirement. Yornborn will get driver of the day. Finished across the line first, but finishes in P2 because of his penalty. Oh yeah, well done everybody. Fastest lap goes to Vixen, but he doesn't get a point for it, unfortunately. But yeah, I will jump straight in. It's nearly 2:30, so I need to get straight onto the incident. I need to get straight onto the standings. I need to input all the fastest laps and all the data for that before the gold race tonight. I've also been logged out of my Discord. It's been banned or something. I don't know what happened. I woke up this morning, my phone was locked and my Discord was banned. I don't have a clue. So I've got a lot to get through. So yeah, make sure you tune in for the gold race at 7 PM. It'll probably be just as eventful as the silver race. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. Honestly, I massively appreciate it. It's amazing to be to have a league and a community like this and have so many amazing followers and supporters through all of our platforms. It means so much, and the following that we've amassed over that time as well. So thank you all so much for continuing to support us and this amazing league, and most of all, these amazing drivers. But yeah,